60% of new car sales in Australia are SUVs, so 6 in 10 Aussies are basically saying, give me something bigger please. So where does Volkswagen's all-new Tayron fit in all of this? It steps in for the Tiguan Allspace, stretches itself out just enough to carry the family, but still drives, parks and squeezes into gaps like a mid-size SUV that's had an extra wee bit. Today we're going to take you through 5 things you need to know about the all-new Tayron. But before we do, leave us a comment below. Do you think the Tayron has what it takes to bring more people into Volkswagen's SUV family? Or do you think it's just another car in a crowded space? Let's check it out. First up, its size. The Tayron measures in at just under 4.8 meters long. That's 25 centimeters longer than the new Tiguan and 6.4 centimeters longer than the outgoing Tiguan Allspace. It creates a really interesting intersection between a mid-size SUV and a large SUV, which is probably it's a great selling point, especially for families who need the 7 seats but don't need a big tank of a car to drive around town in. To put its size into perspective, it's bigger than a mid-size 7-seater like a Nissan X-Trail, Mitsubishi Outlander and Honda CR-V by around 8 to 11 centimeters, but still shorter than large-size 7-seaters such as the Hyundai Santa Fe by 4 centimeters and Volkswagen's own Touareg by 11 centimeters. The Tayron, as the Tiguan Allspace successor, offers 7 seats. The second row slides and reclines, while the third row is best for kids or shorter trips. Alright, so I've managed to squeeze myself into the third row. It very much is for young children. I'm 5'7", and my knees are quite high and touching, but surprisingly the head space is actually quite good back here, and even the shoulder space. Not much amenities in the back row though. You do get a phone holder on one side, and a cup holder on the other. No USBs, no air vents. We were told by Volkswagen that the vents in the car have been designed to have the air flow back here. It's yet to be seen. This second row though is incredibly comfortable. The leg depth and the cushioning of these seats are fantastic. We were in the car for about 2 hours on a drive from Sydney to this location, and sitting in the second row, it was a really nice ride. All right, now to try and get out. Boot space is another great thing about this car. With all 7 seats up, you get 345 litres of space. So that's enough for a full-size pram or your weekly groceries. Fold the third row down and you unlock around 850 litres of space, which is 150 litres more than the old Allspace. Compare this to the 5-seat Tiguan, and that's only 652 litres. So back here, you do get a couple of bag hooks. There's a light 12-volt socket. You can also lift it up where you've got your parcel shelf cover, which neatly hides there if you're not using it. You get a space saver as well. And also you've got the magic button at the back too that you can pull, that you can push all your seats down as well if you put the headrest down. Pricing is sharp considering the equipment on offer. The range starts at $48,290 for the 110 TSI Life and tops out at $73,490 for the sporty 195 TSI R-Line. And this includes a mix of all-wheel drive models and a 5-seat option. Across the Tayron range, you get a lot of standard safety and tech features included. 9 airbags, 360-degree camera, travel assist and semi-autonomous parking, keyless entry, power tailgate, digital cockpit Pro, widescreen driver display, wireless app connect, wireless smartphone charging for 2 phones, and a DAB plus digital radio. Looks-wise, the Tayron follows much the same formula as the Tiguan, which we have covered off in a little more detail here, so you can go watch that if you're interested. Volkswagen's 4Motion all-wheel drive system is available with the Tayron, but there is a catch. It is not available in the base model 7-seat, but it is available in the 150 TSI Life, but that vehicle doesn't come with 7 seats. It's only a 5-seater. Step up to the Elegance or R-Line and you can have both all-wheel drive and 7-seat flexibility, and with up to 250 kilos of braked towing capacity, it's a proper family-ready SUV. So the first real impressions you get with the 150 TSI is just how smooth it is. The gearbox, which Volkswagen has had that DSG for quite some time now in this one, and it just knows what it's doing. And I think of a car of this size, the feeling of just how light it is and how nimble and how you can just chuck it into a corner and you know it's going to come out the other side where you're pointing. That is like confidence, and I guess that comes from a brand like Volkswagen that's been doing this for quite some time. The Tiguan drives very similarly, and obviously both this car and the Tiguan share a lot of components and a lot of engineering. So it makes sense for the same kind of sensibilities of that car to come across. Also, one thing I want to point out, this car has a lot of safety tech, a lot of cameras, a lot of sensors and radars, but you rarely get a bing and a bong. You rarely get flashed at by the driver's cluster screen. You can play around, you can turn settings off and on like in most vehicles, but I feel you don't need to. The attention warning system isn't as vigorous as they are, especially in some of the newer entrants into the market. If you do just opt for the 150, which really is the kind of sweet spot in the range, like I don't know why you would need any more power. It just goes, and it is such effortlessly gliding and really well tuned. The noise has been dulled. The windows have lamination, so it also knocks a few decibels off the noise. You can't really hear the engine unless you push it. You hear it and you get that feedback, but as I said, this is just the ultimate kind of family cruiser, and incredibly light. I think that's probably the word for this. It's a really light car to drive. Things I don't like, I think it's just personal preference. Everything's a screen, massive screens. It probably doesn't need to be this big. There are lots and lots and lots of options and lots of menus. Probably if you own this car, sit down in your garage, program the car to how you think you'll like it, and that goes for everything from the firmness and the stiffness to the color of the interior lighting, and whether or not you want the boot to open and close with a kick or not. So there's so much customization and personalization, which is great. When you own this car, you want it to be closely aligned to your lifestyle as possible. Just do not do that while you're driving. And I think some of these options and settings probably will never be used, which is, I guess, the reality when you offer that much choice. But I think there really is something for everybody. And most of the things you'll need are within arm's reach. That's the Volkswagen Tayron in a nutshell. Bigger, more tech and more powerful than the Tiguan Allspace it replaces. It's priced to take on the big family SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe and the Mazda CX-80, while being more feature-packed and better quality than the likes of the Nissan X-Trail and the Mitsubishi Outlander. We'll hold off on the full verdict until we've had more time with the Tayron, but first impressions are really positive. It's smooth to drive, handles really well, and there's heaps of space there for your family. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.